Welcome to a series of presentations on MCP 13.0 Workload Management. Assisted Workload Discovery is a simulation tool initiated from Workload Center that allows a workload management administrator to configure workload groups and membership rules outside of the running host based on real process data collected from the host. It provides a sandbox environment to try out different workload groups and membership rules without impacting the running host system. This process runs in 3 steps: collection of process data, creation of groups and membership rules, and optionally applying the configuration to a host system. These steps can be repeated as many times as required until a satisfactory configuration is defined. The process data is collected from host systems, logs, and/or the active mix via the workload manager. Once retrieved, the interface presents the list of processes and their attributes in a tabular display. Sorting the list by attributes makes it easier for administrators to observe commonality in the processes, which can be translated into membership rules. As workload groups and membership rules are created and applied, immediate feedback on their effect on the process environment is displayed, showing their distribution within the workload groups. Once a configuration is defined, it can be downloaded onto the host system, become the current configuration. The following is a short demonstration of assisted workload discovery. This system currently has no user-defined membership rules and only workload groups created by processes using the workload group task attribute. Assisted workload discovery can be initiated by right-clicking the host name or by the action menu item and then selecting assisted workload discovery from the menu. Once the assisted workload discovery dialog is displayed, collection of processes is initiated by selecting the Discover Processes toolbar button. This displays the Discover Processes dialog with selection options for where data is to be collected. The user can select processes that are currently active on the host and/or data collected from a range of log files. Once the selection criteria has been made and the Extract button clicked, the status frame will display progress status of the request. Once the request is complete, a message box is displayed indicating completion and the number of processes returned. Clicking OK causes the collection dialog to close and the assisted workload discovery dialog to be populated with the collected processes. The All Processes node in the tree view, once selected, will display all of the collected processes. The Membership Rules node will show any user-defined membership rules. The Workload Groups node, when expanded, will show all currently defined workload groups. There are several automatically created workload groups. The unassigned workload group is where all processes that have not been assigned to either an automatic group or a user-defined workload group reside. The rest of the display is a tabular list of processes and their attributes based on whatever workload group is selected. The occurrence column cannot be used for membership rules creation and is only supplied to indicate the number of occurrences of a process and attribute combinations. The columns can be reordered and sorted by clicking in the column heading. This allows the user to look for combinations of attributes that might be used to define membership rules. The status bar at the bottom of the display shows current counts of defined workload groups and membership rules, and depending upon the current selection in the tree view, process counts. The first number is the count of processes in the selected item, while the second number is always the all processes item count. Now I'm going to add a group and a rule to assign all the processes to start with user code TOMH. First I define a workload group. Then I add a membership rule that will associate the processes to that particular group. In this case, I'm using a rule that says any process that starts with user code TOMH. You can see that the new group contains all the processes that satisfy the rule. I'm going to add a group and rule to create an others group to capture all of the remaining unassigned processes. Create a new workload group called others. I add a membership rule to it, which will basically capture any process that isn't captured by any previous rule. click OK. As you can see, the unassigned process list is now empty because all of the remaining processes have been captured into the others group. So now I decide I would like a group for all the BNA processes. So I create a new workload group called BNA group. I create a new membership rule. This rule will collect any processes that include the name node BNA. And if you notice that the process list for this particular group is empty. This is an example of where assisted workload discovery can be useful in membership rule definition. The problem is that the rule order of the others rule caused it to be applied before the BNA rule. By reordering the others and BNA rules, the desired process segmentation is achieved. Once the desired configuration has been achieved, it can be downloaded to the host system and made the current configuration. Selecting the action menu item, then configuration, and then apply configuration to host causes the assisted workload discovery configuration to be applied to the host system. Warning messages, depending upon the workload manager's mode and consequences of the action, are displayed. Clicking yes causes the configuration change to occur. By returning to Workload Center, you can see that the assisted workload discovery, workload groups, and membership rules have been applied to the host. But selecting a workload group shows no processes. This is because with the workload manager in configuration mode, the requirement to download, process segmentation does not automatically occur. By right-clicking the host name, selecting host admin, and then reapply membership rules, segmentation of the active processes occurs. This completes this demo of assisted workload discovery. For a more complete description, please refer to the Workload Center help text.